So this year we've had a total of 18 one-off liveries, or liveries that weren't used for more than 4 races. Is this a record in F1? I'm too lazy to research this, so someone let me know in the comments below. And I've decided to put all of them in a tier list and grade them. But before we grade all of them, what are my 3 favorite permanent liveries on the grid? Number 1 is the V-Carb, number 2 is the Mercedes, and number 3 is the Williams. I'm not going to give my reasons why, I just like these liveries. So yeah, let's get into the rankings. Anyways, voice crack there. Anyways, we have all the special liveries here on the list right now. We're not going to go chronological to which ones came first in the season, because if we did, we'll go from this one here, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix Alpine. We're going to go from whichever comes in the list first. And if you want to do this list for yourself, I'm going to put it in the description below. Or one of you remind me in the comments if I'm lazy and I forget to put in the description while I'm publishing it. But yeah, we have all the cars laid out now, and we're going to start with this one, the Las Vegas Grand Prix Mastercard Lola. I'm not implying they're slow, I'm just actively trying to avoid saying their team name. It's been a thing for the entire season now if you've watched any of my videos. But yeah, we have the Mastercard Lola from the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I think it looks like the Honda Earth that Honda had in 2007 as well as 2008. I think it looks more like the 2008 one. People say it looks like the Sauber Petronas. I see the vision. I didn't see it at first, but yeah, it looks like it. But then the sort of like metallic glitter design looks more like the Honda Earth to me. But I'm gonna have to put this in the A tier. It works with Las Vegas too. It looks really good under the lights, and I think it deserves to be in the A spot. Something I noticed with the MasterCard Lola liveries is that the engine cover will be the only one unchanged, but then the rest of the car will be changed. So yeah, that's what I noticed with their special liveries. Next, we have the Chrome McLaren from the American Grand Prix. Is it bad to say that I like the 2023 one more that they use at the British Grand Prix? I think it's because I like the way the papaya is used as a separation between the different colors essentially, and in the American Grand Prix it's just a flat chrome line. I don't know, is it just me? I think I might be the only one who prefers last year's Chrome McLaren, and I thought it was pretty ugly. So, and I liked it better than this year's one. So, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of it. Although I will say this year's permanent McLaren livery looks really good, but they ruined it with the Chrome livery. So, but then this one is just a huge miss. I'm gonna have to put it in the D tier. Next, we have the Mercado Libre Williams. I think they used this from the Mexican Grand Prix up until the Las Vegas Grand Prix, or they also might have used it in America. I just can't remember it quite well. And I think Mercado Libre were only added in when they signed Franco Colapinto, because I also noticed their logo on the team kit in recent interviews. I don't think they're there from the start of the season. Let's look at the Williams store, because we will be able to tell by looking at the Williams store. Yeah, it's supposed to be under the Stephens logo. I don't think it's there. I also noticed it's missing the Komatsu logo on this one, so maybe they just added it throughout the season. Oh, look at that, up to 40% off. Let's see what they got. This one looks pretty good. Totally not because of who's modeling it. They're still selling Logan Sargent merch? Wait, is anyone buying that? They have, oh my gosh, they still have Logan Sargent caps. Okay, if this video somehow gets 20,000 views, I'll buy this cap. Or, you know, Williams, if you're watching this, you can send me over this cap, or get me paddock passes next year or something. Okay, I'll stop. I really like this year's Williams. As I already said, it's my top 3 favorite livery this season. I think the addition with the yellow to sort of contrast the blue looks really good, and it's also a throwback to the Camel Williams days of the early 90s, Nigel Mansell and Alain Prost. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this in the S tier. It might be unpopular. I think it's better than the original livery, and I really like this year's Williams. Next, we have the Alpine livery used from Las Vegas to now. I like it. I think it looks better than the original Alpine livery, and I think if you've seen my other videos, you know that I hate this year's Alpine. Although I will say it looks better under dim light than bright lights, because under the bright lights it looks like the regular BWT pink color, but then under like the dimmer lights it has a more hot pink. So it's a bit of a hit or miss. Do I think it's better than the MasterCard Lola glitter? I don't think so. Do I think it's better than this year's livery? Yes, I think it looks better than the main livery. It's not really that hard to do, isn't it? And I don't think it's the best pink Alpine. The best pink Alpine is still the one they used in Bahrain and Saudi in 22. So I'm going to have to put this in the B tier. Now, next up, we have the Camo Red Bull thing I noticed about the special Red Bull liveries is that they don't really change the liveries, they just add things on, they just add patterns on it, and this is the same concept. And I think this should have been the main livery to add a bit of change, but I guess they like being plain and boring, and so, I mean, okay, the Red Bull livery is a classic at this point, but you can't admit some change would be nice here and there, and this would have been a nice change on the livery. But yeah, I think this should have been their main livery this season. Do I think it's amazing? Not really. Do I think it's more inspiring than the one they use permanently? Yes, I do. So I'm gonna have to put this in the Airbnb. Do I think it's better than the Alpine? That's interesting. I don't think so. But I don't think the Alpine should be in the A. Alright, I'll put this at the same tier as the Alpine. Quick honorable mention to this RB7 livery that David Coulthard used in Galway. It was originally supposed to be used in Singapore and America on the actual RB20. And I feel super cheated on right now. They didn't do it in Singapore and America to save paint. If only what could have been. Next, we have the Ferrari used in Monza. Where's the special livery? It's just the same car with the black numbers. I don't even know why I included it in this list. They had special suits, they had special helmets, they had special merch. I think all of those three looked really good. Kind of want to get that Ferrari shirt, but I saw it over the Singapore Grand Prix, $230, and no thanks. Unless, you know, Ferrari or Puma, if you're watching this, hook a brother up. And one thing I noticed immediately when I first saw that Ferrari shirt is that it's literally just the Puma 20/21 football template. I think the merch and the suits are good, but the livery is good because the livery is the same one they use throughout the season. And I like this year's Ferrari, but they barely change anything. So we're gonna add a row below and we're gonna name it barely changed anything, and then we're gonna put this Ferrari there because it's a good livery. They just added black numbers. At least change one of the stripes to black. Then at least you change something, not just the numbers. But I actually think the black numbers look better than the white numbers. Just saying. And Ferrari always come up with bangers in Monza, like in 22 with the yellow engine cover, and then in 23 they copied the 499P livery. I think these two look really good. I don't know why they didn't at least try this year. So yeah, barely change anything. Next we have the Deadpool Alpine. I mean, do I think it's S or A? I'm gonna put in S. All the Alpine special liveries this year are all better than the regular Alpine, which is not really that hard to do because their car this year is super uninspiring and I hate it.
Well, I'm out, guys. If this is what's cool now, I think I'm done. I no longer have any connection to this world.
This one is a banger. You cannot go wrong with black, red, white, and yellow, and they use these colors really nicely. And the sort of philosophy of the livery where it looks like it's a peeled aluminum, really like that touch, although I find it funny that it looks like it's supposed to be peeled aluminum revealing some paint, even though that's the only painted part of the car. The rest of the car is pure carbon fiber. But yeah, this livery looked really good. The suits looked even better. I love Gasly's helmet, by the way, the Gasly's Wolverine helmet, and I'm gonna have to put that in the S tier. Next we have the McLaren from Japan. I'm gonna be honest, I did not know McLaren had a special livery in Japan. I did not skip Japan, I watched Japan. Changes were not really that big, but it's bigger than the change than what Ferrari did. So I'm gonna rank this as well. I'm gonna have to put this in D. I don't know, it doesn't work. I don't really like the floral on it. And I'm not saying floral designs are bad, because their floral design at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix 2 years ago, that one looked great. But yeah, this one just looks bland and uninspiring. I'm gonna have to put it in the D tier. Next, we have the Haas from the American Grand Prix. I think this is a solid A tier. I haven't put anything at C yet. I think we're gonna have to rearrange this later on. This is a solid A tier because, yeah, I like what they did with the side pod and the eagle. It gives a sort of like college football vibe, if that makes sense. Even though I don't know anything about college football. I don't think this is perfect, hence why it's not the S, because if the engine cover was white, this would have looked really, really nice. But sadly, the engine cover is carbon and not white to save weight. I understand it, so it doesn't make the livery perfect. So the VF24 American Grand Prix livery is in the A tier. Next, the Singapore Grand Prix MasterCard Lola. Now, I like this livery. I think it's a good looking car under the daylight. Under the nightlight, it doesn't look as good. And I actually saw this live. And I did not understand why they decided to go for this livery in Singapore. Because, I don't know, denim matches Coda more. Coda was literally the following race after Singapore. Why couldn't they just save it for Coda? And then when Daniel Ricciardo was announced that it was Singapore's going to be his last race, I sort of understood it. But again, it's the missed opportunity for Koda because it looked better under the daylight than it does in the nightlight. In Singapore, it's all about being flashy and poppy under the nightlights. For example, the chrome McLarens from 2008 to 2013 looked really good under the lights. The Mercedes W13, that one looked really good under the lights in Singapore. But then they come up with this, which again, not a bad livery, but under the lights it looks terrible, and most of the Singapore sessions are held in the night sky, so I cannot put this above B for that reason, because it's a good livery. They just could have been used at a track where it fits it more, like in Koda, and I saw this live. I think I already mentioned that actually. Like, I would have much preferred to have the regular livery they used throughout the season instead of this, because the metallic would have just popped out more under the nightlight. So yeah, really missed opportunity from VCarb, or I said it, didn't I? From MasterCard Lola. Next we have the W15 used in Singapore. So we're continuing with Singapore. Again, same with this. I think this looks better in the daylight. It would have been better to use it at a different track, because the silver, I already mentioned, the W13 under the lights, magnificent. This, however, under the lights, doesn't really pop as much, and silver would have popped out much more. And it's also pretty ironic, celebrating the 50th anniversary of a Malaysian company in Singapore. No, not really feeling this. I'm gonna have to put this in the C tier. Again, it's not a bad livery, but under the lights in Singapore, you should go for a livery that pops under the lights, and this only looks good in the daytime, which is the opposite of what you want. But okay, I guess teams are going for a different change now in their special liveries. And I wouldn't blame you if you saw this on the TV and you thought it was an Aston Martin, because from afar it kind of does. We have the British Grand Prix Williams with a Union Jack on the engine cover. They did this last year too, but with a colorless Union Jack, and I prefer that much more than this because it integrates in the livery very well, unlike this where you're just dropping in a random color out of nowhere. Well, to be fair, I like the Mercado Libre one, but that's different because on a car that already looks dark overall, but then this is adding a bright color to contrast the dark color. I like the sentiment of it though. I like the sentiment of adding the members of the team on the engine cover. The same thing Mercedes did back in 2020 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So I'm gonna have to put this in the C tier. We have the Flame Sauber from the Las Vegas Grand Prix next. Yeah, this gives like insane muscle car vibes. I'm not really into muscle cars, but it just gives off that vibe. I did see a lot of them in Las Vegas when I went there last year, so I think it fits the surrounding as well, and it looks much better than their regular livery. This should have been what they used throughout the season, but no, I guess we go for, we look really good in one race and we look uninspiring for the rest of the season, just like our pace, unless they somehow cook in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which I hope they do. I want Bottas to score points. Better than the original livery. I'm gonna have to put it in the A tier. Also a really nice looking concept. The nose, I think the nose is definitely the highlight of this car, and using the sort of blocked shadow on the number to contrast it, yummy. Next we have the Miami Grand Prix VCarb. Since I already said their name, I'm just gonna call them VCarb from now on. We have the Miami Grand Prix VCarb. This was their first special livery of this season. This is tough. Because I think the Singapore one looks better, but I also think this looks really good. So I don't know if I can put it in the C tier. I think I might have to make a tier between B and C. Oh, but thinking about it now, do I like it more than the Mercedes? No, I don't. Do I like it more than that Williams? I don't think I do either. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to put this in the C tier then. But it fits the Miami vibe, I'll tell you that much. It fits the Miami vibe, which I don't think the other teams have done in the past few years with their special Miami Grand Prix liveries. But I would really like to see a team implement the Miami Vice colors, like how the Miami Heat did it with their jerseys. It would look really good on an F1 car. Well, technically that's how the Alpine looks like. Speaking of Alpine, we're ranking them next. They're one off they use in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Okay. Again, like the Ferrari, I don't know why I included it here. Barely changed anything because they just changed the paint around the nose. The rest of the season it's blue. In this particular race it's pink. We now have the white and orange McLaren used in the Singapore Grand Prix. It looks like last year's Triple Crown. I think last year's Triple Crown was much better than this year's one they used in Singapore. But unlike the other Singapore Grand Prix liveries we've had this year, it actually pops under the night sky, and orange, white, and black just works as a color combo, which is why I really want to buy the Jordan 1 shattered backboards. Be sure to subscribe so I can afford these one day. And this doesn't look naked, it doesn't look bare and exposed, unlike the American Grand Prix MCL 38. For that, I'm going to have to put this in the A tier. Oh, is it S? Yeah, actually, you know what, I'm putting it in S because I think you can also argue that this looks better than their normal livery. We have the Indiana Jones Alpine next. I liked it at first, but looking closer to it, nah, not really. It looks too much like the McLaren, especially with the black on top of the side pod. Yeah, like if you remove the BWT, you would be mistaken with this for the MCL 38. I'm going to have to put this in C. But I think it's better than all the other cars in the C tier, so it's a really high C tier. I just can't put it any higher because it's supposed to be an Alpine, not a McLaren. And lastly, we have the Miami Grand Prix Ferrari. I think this deserves its own tier. Yep, disappointed but not surprised. We were all expecting a full blue livery. They teased us with the cap, they teased us with the shirt, they teased us with the suit. But instead, we got this, and it looks ugly. I thought it looked pretty good at the time, but then when I look more at it, it just gets worse and worse every single time. I don't mind the HP on the Ferrari car. Honestly, it's grown on me, and seeing it in person, it actually looks pretty good. I just wish they would have implemented it better. Like I saw someone do like a barcode concept. Come on, HP, you should have done it like that, or how you did it on your old retro Spurs kits. But then this just looks like a disaster. It looks like a car crash. It looks disgusting. It's in. Disappointed but not surprised. Ferrari have had really good special liveries in Monza in 22 and 23. I already talked about it earlier. But this year they disappointed big time with their special liveries because one of them is not even a special livery. They're special numbers. And one of them just looks ugly. So I don't know what's up with Ferrari this year. Hopefully next year they give us special liveries, or they just give us a really good livery that they can use throughout the season. And no special liveries at all. I think every team actually might have had a special livery. I'm just realizing that now. Nope, Aston Martin aren't here. You wouldn't really see this like 5 or 10 years ago. In fact, I think between 2010 up until 2020, there were barely any special liveries on the grid. But then when Ferrari did it in 2020, everyone started making at least one every season. So actually, no, I think it started in 2019 with the Mercedes with a stripped white paint livery. People think that looks good. I honestly don't really like it. I like the W10 with the red Niki Lauda halo. I think they should have used that throughout the season instead of the regular silver halo. This is my tier list. Let me know if you like it or not. I'm going to be putting a link in the description so you can do this tier list for yourself. Message me on Twitter showing me the tier list or whatever. No one follows me on Twitter anyways, apart from bots. And every time I remove the bots, they come back. Let me know if you agree with this or not. Let me know if you find my opinions completely stupid. I am entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. And we can all hate each other's opinions because that's what everyone loves to do on the internet. So, yeah, but thanks for watching, and goodbye.